Lewis Jr. show. And yes, it's become a normal occurrence for us here where we have our fan day, and it's a big part of our week. And especially this week, I'm excited to talk with some of the best supporters of the Burgundy and Gold. And as always, if you want to come on this broadcast, all you have to do is email us at the Lake Lewis Jr. Show at gmail.com, and we will get back to you and reach out to you. It may take a week or so, but we're going to get you on because this thing's growing. But the good thing is that the regulars are back. You know, all the folks who normally come on are here. And I know we've got a lot to talk about today because Thursday night we saw a performance that I think a lot of us felt like lacked a lot of intensity. There was a lot to be desired on that outcome. Some of you were there, I was there. So before we start, got to shout out my dude, Brad
My guy.
Jones, because got a chance to meet Brad up in Green Bay, and he made the trip up there with some friends. And so as fans, for you guys to witness a performance like that, it's got to hurt just from the standpoint that they were in the game late, 17-10 at one point with 9 minutes left, and they didn't play good football. And I thought Green Bay played about as well as they possibly could under the circumstances at home. So do you walk away from this game? That's the question I'm getting ready to pose to you guys. Do you walk away from this game feeling like this team is not as good as people thought they were? Or do you feel like this team, no matter how poorly they play, they still have an opportunity to be in a football game against a team that a lot of people are saying might be the best team in the NFC? That's my question. You can answer it however you want. So we're going to start around the horn. We'll start with Abdul. What's going on, Abdul?
Hey, what's up, Blake? What's up, everyone?
So,
Uh,
brother.
all right, so for me, I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But more so, uh, I just look at it like we were in a situation where we were just out schemed, and there's a lot of things that I mean, this is all hindsight's 2020, but I think there's some things that we could have done that were different. I think we made ourselves one dimensional, not them, but we made ourselves one dimensional in passing game. We had like 42 dropbacks, and then 12 carries between just the running backs itself. So that's what hurt us. And the thing about it is, if you look at what Bill was doing, it was like he was averaging over 4 yards a carry. I don't understand why we didn't keep them honest and take the pressure off of Jaden and give the receivers some time to run their routes by just keeping the defense honest. I mean, they were just dropping, just had four up front and dropping everyone else, and back and dropping everyone else in zone, and that really affected everything. And if they would have been like, okay, like when they got to the second half, I was like, okay, this is what they're gonna do. They're gonna adjust, because
Mm-hmm.
this is not working. And
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't do that. It was like, all right, let's just drop back. It really reminded me. It's very reminiscent of like what Eric Bieniemy was doing with Sam Howell. It was just like, let's just drop back. Oh, it's gonna work. Something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen, and that hurt us. So I think it's more so like more so a scheming issue.
Okay. All right. I mean, that's very well said. A lot of the points you made there, I think the sentiments are with everyone in here. And I can say this. Up in that press box, it was who is this? Like what team is this? I had never seen them look so disjointed all across the board. And yes, why are you dropping Jaden back that many times against that kind of feverish pass rush and perhaps the best pass rusher in the game? And don't forget about Rashawn Gary. I mean, you were putting him in harm's way.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hence why he looked the way he did after the game. I didn't report anything, and most of my colleagues who were in that building didn't report anything, and there's a reason for that. Okay, so we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, he did have a little limp. I'm gonna tell you, yes, he did.
No, we saw it.
But yeah, but it wasn't to the effect of this guy's getting ready to miss some football games. Stop it. Okay, so that's a whole nother story. I don't even want to go there because that made me wake up to like, are you kidding me? Now I got to answer this. So the other part, didn't you guys see Bill run well? Yeah, you
Yeah.
just said that.
That's
He was
nice cuts.
gashing their defense.
Nice cuts.
And against an athletic defense, what do you need? An athletic back. So he was doing everything, and yet they went away from him totally. So I agree with you, Abdul. This is your platform, so I don't want to get into it just yet with you. But I will say this: Joe Witt, Cliff Kingsbury got out coached. They got out.
Absolutely.
They clearly got out schemed. And to
Yep.
make matters worse, not only did they get out coached, they were out coached before the game started. Green Bay had a plan in
Yep.
place for both
Yep.
sides of the ball.
Yep.
Yep.
So I was expecting the same thing, Abdul. I was expecting them
Yep.
to make changes at halftime. Maybe they did, and it just didn't show up. But for my money, they didn't make enough. So we'll move forward. We're gonna go in the other order here too. So I'm trying to mix it up so everyone isn't always waiting at the end like normal. So let's get Miss Sheila. What's going on, Miss Sheila?
I
And
missed
I'm sorry I missed you, yes, against the Giants game, but I was running ragged around the stadium and had
you.
to get on the field, so I apologize. We'll do it. We'll do it for the Raiders game for sure.
I couldn't get around it to you anyway because they made us do something totally new to get the crowd out, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna find like nowhere up in here right now.
Yeah, it was. We had to wait for like 20 minutes for I guess Magic and Josh Harris's folks to get out through the corridor, so they made us wait.
Yeah, they
And
doing a lot of waiting.
yeah, it was. I mean, I can't say nothing, it's they the bosses, So but we had to wait, so I couldn't get down. They actually missed half of Dan's presser, so yeah, I was upset about that. That was last week, folks, not Thursday night. So all right, so
But
what you think about the game, Miss Sheila?
I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't a fan of Joe Witts last year, and I'm
Okay.
truly not one now. I'm just sorry.
Oh,
I mean,
Miss Sheila comes hard with it on a Saturday morning. My
last year
gosh.
I kept saying certain things. Last year I kept seeing with our defense. And then the one game when we played the Giants, they did well with because the offense of the Giants was a lot worse too. But then, they were doing okay. But then I'm looking and I'm like, why do we have all these open spots? I mean,
Yeah.
what in the world is going on? And he up there looking, I'm like, what's and then they put the picture on him up there in the booth, and he looked like he don't know what he doing. I'm just like, I could come up with something better than that. I was so disgusted with the
Yeah.
whole thing. I was disgusted. I was disgusted with all the coaching. I felt bad because that Jaden was running for his life, pretty much,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then Terry wasn't catching anything, so there you go. Then I knew the next thing is a quarterback slump, and I was like, here we go, we're gonna get that. And I'm just like, it was terrible. It was terrible all the way around. Defense, offense, it was just terrible.
Special teams.
Yeah, especially yeah, everything. It was. I was sitting in here with my two grandsons. They was about ready to cry. I was having to cheer them up. You know
Well,
what
let
I'm saying?
me let me just interject and say this to everybody, especially if you're watching. It's just week 2.
You
I
know,
mean,
I told them that.
yeah.
I
I've had to walk people off the ledge. My brother-in-law called me in the airport yesterday, just go dropping names, everybody, and I'm like, Glenn, listen. Yes, terrible loss. From a competitive standpoint.
are they gonna look for a
They,
new kicker?
Well, you guys know on this show with you guys, I've been saying all along it's a problem. And
Yes, it
I still
is.
got to go in the locker room, and I hate to have to call out, guys, because like I said, I got to go in the locker room and see these guys every day. But Matt's been struggling and they can't mask this. They can't. It was on display nationally on Thursday night. I've been telling you, I've been seeing it like this in practice. I haven't seen consecutive hits, and for at least from the portions that we're allowed to see. Obviously, when they start running scripted plays, we have to leave the field. But even in warm-ups, I've seen misses, so it's like
Oh man.
this
they
is
need to
this is
call.
not good. And I think not to stray here because we got to get around the board for everyone. But I think the issue is, everyone's saying they gave him guaranteed money. I mean, there's a lot of players that had guaranteed money that have been cut. I mean, Brian Robinson was traded. I mean, listen,
Yeah.
if you're not getting it done, you're not getting it done. And I think now is the time that it has to be addressed. I mean, you have the long extended period right now. Last time I looked, Zane Gonzalez and Austin Seibert are still out there. And
Hello.
both of those guys, unless they're not healthy, okay, I understand maybe you leave them alone, you take a flyer on that. But if they're able to kick and they're healthy, both of them last year kicked better than this guy did now. So, and I don't think there would be a
Hello.
fan out there. I don't think any of you guys would be upset if I reported that that one of those guys was brought back in here. I think most of you probably would be doing cartwils.
Not just by
So,
me.
At least a tryout.
Yeah.
exactly,
Thank you.
exactly. Something to address it.
The
All
game
right, so
been a little closer if he had made those 6 points.
well, it changes the trajectory of everything.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
did.
I wasn't happy with the field goal attempt of 58 yards at the end of the game. I will
Right.
say that. But if he makes it, you get the ball coming back out of halftime, and you would only been down 8 points. It's just literally one possession game at that point. So I see Dan's reasoning for it, but I will say this: they're not as aggressive as they were last year,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. I think some of you were even like, he keeps talking about the identity and the culture. Well, you were establishing an aggressive culture and identity last year. I don't see that right now. I just don't. I see that you want to be physical, and I'm okay with that. But the explosive plays. Remember last year that was the thing. We're not seeing them, and that's a problem. So let's pick it up. Let's keep it going here real quick so we can get through this part of it. So Brad Jones, what's up?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Good seeing you, man. Good
You too,
seeing you.
man. You too. Well, to your question, I think first off, we looked like a tired team.
Mm-hmm.
We looked like tired, and as I was telling the group before the show, from the time we ran on the field, we looked completely just out of it. We just didn't even look the same, and I'm not surprised that that D line is quick though. That D line is fast. The whole defense is,
Uber fast.
but they're not big though. I mean, we were trying to run that zone read, and that zone read ain't working when you got speed.
Mm-hmm.
I think line up and punch them in the face, right?
And when
Line up
they
and
when they did it, it was working.
just punch them
So
because I think their D tackle don't even look that.
Mm-hmm.
They're not big at all. So I think like when they play Philly next week, you're gonna see the real Green Bay. I think Philly gonna pound them with
yeah,
that size of that O line. I hate to give
I
Philly
agree.
credit on this show. Almost threw up in my mouth. Sorry.
But guess what? I think after what we saw on Thursday, some people are looking forward to a reality check for them too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because I didn't
yeah.
walk out of Green Bay thinking
That they
that's
were-
the juggernaut. I
Yeah.
did.
Mm-mm.
I didn't. I walked out thinking, and again, if you're a Packers fans, you have a really good team. The people up there treated me great. I'm sure they treated you well, Brad.
Yep.
So kudos to them. But I did not walk out of there feeling like they've jumped us, even though they beat us there. I think if these two teams played 10 times and everything is right, meaning we got to figure out what is wrong now. But if everything is right, I think Washington's the better team, if you ask me. I just do.
he was
Again, we'll get through that. You made a good point though, Brad, as far as pounding them, because again, we all said this. They were running the ball effectively. And in a game like that, you want to slow this game down to the point where it just becomes a defensive war. And even though the defense was getting driven on early in the game, they were holding. You remember, they would hold, they would cause a punt or whatever, but the offense just didn't play off of it. So it wasn't complimentary football at all, too. So those are the things that are going to end up biting this team. So all right, so let's keep the train rolling here. Shawno, what's going on, my friend?
Greetings, everyone.
What's up?
Okay, so I have so much stuff to talk about. I don't want to hog it up too much, but I had a list, and as I'm hearing people discuss it, I'm crossing it off my list, so I won't be redundant. Okay. Number one, let's stop having Debo return kicks
I agree
because
with that.
he's injury prone,
Mhm.
and at this point, he's one of our best pass or
Or
receivers.
weapons.
Yeah. So let's not wear him down.
Mhm.
I just think that it seemed like the coaching staff came into this game saying we're going to be vanilla, we're not going to show our hand, what we're capable of, and kind of just gave the game away. And I didn't like that. I didn't like the demeanor of
Mm-hmm.
Jaden. You know, I love him,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't like, there was no urgency. Maybe he was upset knowing the game plan coming in. He wanted to play, and maybe they said, you know,
Mm-hmm.
be more reserved than usual. But it kind of reminded me, I'm gonna show my age a little bit, back in the NBA Finals, Barkley versus Jordan. They're buddies off the field, too much respect. On the court, you got to do your thing. You can't be friendly on the court. And I felt that way. It seems like every time Jaden matches up against the big shot
Micah.
from that, help me with
Mm-hmm.
his name, guys.
Michael Parsons.
Parsons, excuse me. Whenever they're on the same field, he doesn't play. He doesn't play right the way that we're used to seeing him play. And then don't get me started on Marshawn St. Juice. Oh my gosh.
Call him Marshawn St. Jude.
That's right. That's what he looked like to me. So I was like, come on, man.
Come on, man. I gotta go to the locker room. That's best. That's gonna stay in my brain. You know, you guys know what I've been hearing over and over.
Oh,
What I've been hearing over and over. So it's funny. I kid you not. I told Donna Hopkins and Candy Waller in practice last week. We kept hearing that over the speakers. We kept hearing that doom, the doom, 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 go Pack, go. And I told them going into Green Bay, I'm like, man, I keep hearing this song. Whew. Well, after the other night, it is like I keep hearing it like every 5 minutes. I don't know why I keep hearing that.
It's
just
tattooed.
it is.
Yeah.
They played it so much in the stadium. I'm like, I got to get out of here. I cannot wait to board a plane to get. That was the first time ever, probably for me. I was just telling Janine when I got back. Look, she had people from the TV station calling me, trying to get me to walk them off the ledge. They were so mad about the game, but I kept telling her, like, that was probably the first time in my professional career where I said to myself, I could have been home for this. I literally said that to myself.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
I drove 7 hours, so
I
I know.
know what you were thinking.
Yeah.
It was so lackluster. I can't explain it. And when you talk about Brad mentioned the point about the team being tired. I know they are, because I'm tired and I don't even play.
Yeah.
I haven't been this exhausted from travel and just everything that led into the Giants game. I mean, there was a lot there. I know the Giants were a team most of us thought they were going to beat, and they did, but it still was a divisional game. It was the first game of the season, a lot of pageantry, everything. And then have to go for us, 2-3 days later, not the night of the game. We're not sitting there. We still had to get there. I haven't been this tired in a long time. So if I felt this way,
Man.
I know what I saw on the field, and they looked spent.
did.
They looked mentally not. They weren't on the field mentally. Maybe their
did.
bodies flew there, but mentally they just weren't there. It was just a lot of mistakes. So let's keep it going. Let's go with Ellison. What's going on, Ellison?
What's good, Lake? Good
What's
to see
up with you,
everybody.
man? What's going on?
Could have been better. It was a long night Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of people already kind of mentioned some of the bullet points that I had. I've been trying to hold back feelings about Marshawn for a while, but it's becoming an issue, him and Matt Gay.
Mm-hmm.
We got beat at the offensive line and defensive line of scrimmage. We just got beat up and down the field. It was, if Green Bay really wanted to run the ball, Josh Jacobs could have had over 120 yards Thursday.
I was surprised they didn't run him as much.
Yeah,
but they didn't need to, actually.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Without a
right.
pass game, he could have had about $120, and we got out coaching our scheme. Simple as that. Those three things are critical. But yeah, we got some issues. Think we got to tighten up for sure.
Yeah, good points. Good points. I mean, it is what it is. I can't even stress even further than that. So let's keep the train going here. I'm trying to go up and down as far as how my screen is. So, Oscar, what's going on?
Good to see you, Lake. Good to see everyone. Obviously, it was a sad Thursday, but the thing that made me sad the most was, it seemed like the team accepted defeat. That is not our identity, so that's a concern there. I know it's still the second week and it's still to hit the panic button, but overall the chemistry wasn't there. I think we still can tackle. The big question is, are we good enough to stop Eagles this year? The bigger question to me is, are we good enough to stop Saquon? I don't think we are yet.
Yeah,
And Lattimore, he just was awful. I mean, yeah. Don't mix the name when you go to the locker room, but yeah.
yeah, I know what it's already. Maybe that's going to be ingrained in my head more than that dun
Don't
dun
do
dun
it.
dun. You know, so that was a good one too. By the way, I normally write things down. I can't write that one down. That would be terrible. Yeah, everyone feels the same way. All these points are well taken, and not just in this board. Not just in this show today, but I mean, if you're watching, you're probably thinking the same thing. Again, brother-in-law called me. Marshawn was the first name he brought up. John Burkett, who was on with us, the crime reporter from CBS 6, got a shout out to the station because they had me as their insider. Yeah, first word was Marshawn. And I'm like, look, Marshawn was in position a lot of times. If you go back and watch the tape, he was right near the ball. Some good throws, good catches, good scheme. But there were times where you can see like that doesn't look like Marshawn from New Orleans.
Not the same
Okay.
guy anymore.
Yeah,
And
you're starting to see Father Time is caught up,
Yeah.
and he's not a bad corner though. I will say this: maybe he's being asked to do some things that he should not be asked to do right now, and I think that goes back to coaching and scheme because for my money, and I told you guys this, you guys remember this. I told you guys this way back in rookie camp. I saw the same thing in this young man I'm about to say that I saw in Jaden last year, and it was just something different. You could see this guy's better than pretty much everybody around him, and that's Trey.
Yeah.
and I've seen nothing to derail that. I had a fan jump on me because I tweeted out when Trey knocked the pass down that was going wasn't Romeo Dobbs. It was
The other one,
my goodness gracious. In the first obviously the deep ball that Jordan Love
Yeah.
threw.
Yeah.
To Jaden.
Yes, to Jaden Reed. Yes, to Jaden Reed who got hurt, right afterwards. So and ironically Trey did too, but that play, Jaden Reed was open. And you saw this makeup speed by Trey to knock that down. And I had a fan tell me, "Are you watching the same game I'm watching because he underthrew him?" And I'm like, "Not only am I watching it, I'm sitting here." And there was no underthrow. He just made a great play, but that's athletic youth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's okay to say now who their best corner is.
Yep.
It's okay. I mean, all the intangibles, everything is there for this guy to be CB1. Mikey's good. Mikey's playing where he should be playing. And I think maybe you put Marshawn as opposed to being the featured corner. You put Marshawn as your second corner, and he'll be a very good one. Trust me. He's still a good football player now, guys. We can't throw him under the bus after week 2. But I do think that you're seeing Trey emerge now as their guy that you want to put on the AJ Browns of the world. Now, people are going to say, "You kidding me? Like he's a rookie." So what? Some rookies are just
Some
different,
rookies are different. Yeah.
and I think we can see that this guy's different. So okay, so let's keep it going here. Good points by everybody so far. So let's go with Gerard. What's going on, my friend? Good meeting you last week at the game as well.
Yes. Thank you for making that time.
No worries, no worries.
I've been sitting here listening to everybody. Just hear me out. Give me a few moments.
Okay.
Okay. We got a much better team as far as talent and players than what we had last year.
Mhm.
Okay. So we are way better from last year.
Mhm.
The bottom line, what I saw in this game right here, starts from Dan Quinn. We can talk about the coordinators all day long. I love Dan Quinn. I love our coaching staff. We were not prepared for this game.
Right.
It starts with Dan Quinn. I don't know if you guys noticed, even going back to last year, whenever we play coaches that Dan Quinn has worked with, been familiar with, Dallas, they know his scheme.
Mhm.
They out coach him, outplay him every single game. Dan Quinn, in my opinion, needs to add some more tweaks. You know, Bump trying to make adjustment at halftime. You got to make adjustments during the game.
Mhm.
First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. And that's what I didn't see. I love how we have experience on our team, but we also have youth that they have drafted. Bobby Wagner is great, but
Mhm.
he can't be out there trying to
Cover
guard a
tight
tight
ends.
end going
Yeah.
straight down the middle. That's why we
Yeah.
got Jordan McGee,
Yeah.
the guy from UCLA,
And we didn't see him.
and we didn't see them. So we have to coach better. These
Mhm.
players are going to go as far as the coaching go.
Mhm.
Talent is great,
Mhm.
but it's all about philosophy. And what I saw when we came to that game and we cut it down to one score,
Mhm.
you want to know what that coach did on the other side for Green Bay?
He
He
made an
pulled out
adjustment.
tricks. He
Mhm.
made adjustments. He was calling plays we ain't seen the whole game, and he was
Mhm.
tearing us up.
And
But
they
that's
went right
because
down the
he
field.
went right down the field with ease. That's because he's already knowing what Joe Witt and Dan Quinn gonna do man to man. We have to use these guys in a better way going forward. I think we are great. I think we're still going to make the playoffs. I'm not down and out. We just got to really get our team together. It's just week 2, going to week 3 right now. We're good. You
Well,
know,
just
injury is part of the game.
yeah.
No disrespect to anybody, and I understand it. But the short turnaround, even last year against Philly, was the same exact way. Jaden Daniels looked the same exact way. Our offense didn't do nothing. We scored the same amount of points, 18, when Philly beat us that first game. It was the
Mhm.
same exact game to me almost. All I'm trying to say is it's football. You're going to have a Thursday game. You're going to have a Saturday game. You're going to have a Sunday game. We professionals. Everybody getting paid. Somebody got to travel. Somebody not going to travel, depending on how the schedule work out. Get it
Mhm.
together. You know, we going forward. We paying millions to people. Get it together. That's all I'm saying. And I've been here for 30, 40 years, and I'm ready, and I see it, and we got the talent. The coaches let us down this game. I don't blame no player. The coaches let us down, and going forward, I hope they get it. That's
Okay.
that's that's my piece.
Okay. So you know what he sounds like to me. So my father or my stepfather who raised me, he's no longer here, of course, but he used to always say to me, "Tighten up."
Yes, they need to
And
tighten up.
that's what it sounds like you're saying. They got to tighten up because the talent is there. Everyone knows that it's in the building. You can clearly
Hmm.
see that this team is way more talented than they were last year. But you're not. I didn't see the strengths of their team on Thursday. Like I didn't see. So Laramie Tunsil jumping off sides. Is that a coaching thing? Because we hadn't seen any of these things really, uh, with some of their frontline players. We saw a lot of this in preseason now, penalties
Right.
and things like that, sloppy tackling, but not really from the frontline guys. And now it all came to a head. And you're right, that goes back to coaching. It does. It goes back to preparation. And I know that they work hard with these guys. There's a lot of analytics and they do a lot of these things, but I just think we all can see that this wasn't on display on Thursday night. I
Yeah.
just didn't see the heart. I didn't see the fight. I just didn't see that tenacity that you saw, ironically, on the other side of the ball. They were having fun and they were talking. It was a lot of chest bumping. I didn't see that from the burgundy and gold. So let's keep it
Hey,
going forward here. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Lake. One small point, real quick, and I'm gonna shut up. Give me 10 seconds.
yeah.
Last year, Joe Witt and the boys kept talking about more players to really run his scheme, right? To
Hmm.
me, we have a good defense and we got some decent depth right now. There's no reason why we can't use Luvu the way they use Parson a little bit. We're not even hearing Luvu too much.
I thought you
We
were
Nope.
gonna
gotta
do it.
we gotta put him in different spots.
Right.
Yeah.
Let him roam. He
And
got
I
the
thought
energy.
and I thought they were going to do that with Frankie.
Me too.
Like to
Yes,
me,
That's what I
Frankie's on
thought.
a milk carton right now. He
Right.
is. He's
He's missing.
I haven't heard his
It's
name in two
exactly.
games.
And
And
that's coaching.
yeah,
Coach.
you're 100% correct. They're having him cover deep. Cover, I mean, Yeah, that's just not his strength. He should be near that line of scrimmage wreaking havoc. So
Yes.
yeah, so let's get our next two on there, and then we'll switch it up here a little bit. Okay, so Josh, you're up, and then we have Brandon after Josh to close out this question. So what's up, Josh?
What's up, everybody? Gerard, you hit it on the point. Hit it right on the head. That's exactly what I was gonna say. It was coaching. It nobody seemed prepared. I will say this is not an excuse, but it's very rare that Thursday night traveling teams win. That's a fact. It's just I was worried about that from the get-go. It is a hard thing to do. And as far as everybody running around with their heads on fire, settle down. NFL, how many undefeated seasons are there? How many?
That's right.
Every good team loses a game.
Yeah.
I've never seen. What did I say in the game chat? I didn't want to say, Brandon, that I've never seen Jaden's face like that. He was tired. They were all
and he was frustrated,
very
without
frustrated.
question.
I did not like the Cliff's calling. It was all these dink and dunk. I mean, somebody brought up the old coach. I don't want to bring his name up, but they attacked Lattimore. I'm going to defend him a little bit. They attacked him. We all talked about that, the whole chat.
Good job.
They took it's almost like they were reading our social media. They were watching everybody we were bragging about, they attacked. Every single one of them. LaFleur watched the tape and Dan didn't. I don't know what it was. It's just
Coaching.
they were flustered. And, it was coaching. That's all it was. And and that's y'all said everything I was wanting to say, but it was the coaching. And we definitely got the talent, but
Gotta get it. Got to tighten up.
I want to see more Amos. I'm glad Amos was back after that hit because that was a nasty hit he took from Love.
It was. He been up to like legs didn't look the way they were supposed to look on that, but he got up and he came back in. I gotta tell you, man, binoculars were getting a workout from the press box. Like that blue tent stayed up. It never came down. I mean, it was like one person after another were in there. And I'm just like, man, when it rains, it pours. This was one of those games. This football game reminded me eerily similar to the Tampa game to start the season last year.
Yeah.
It was just like they're not out of this thing, ironically, but they can't get anything sustained. It was like it just wasn't fluid football. It looked eerily similar to not just Tampa last year, but the previous seasons before. It was almost like you watch the other team be able to get gash plays, 15 here, 20 there, 30 there, at ease. Guys wide open. Take your pick who you want to throw to if you're Jordan Love.
Oh,
And then on the other side of the ball, they're scrounging to get 2-3 yards, and everything just looked disjointed. So we'll talk about that after Brandon gets on here. So what's up, Brandon?
What's up, boss? What's up, guys?
Appreciate you.
To echo Gerard and Josh, I mean, look, I'll start with the positives first. So it's early. We're 1-1. And I listened to a lot of your colleagues yesterday. I was listening to JP Finley. I was listening to B Mitch. I was listening to Fred Smoot came on, and they were trying to say all the positives. And yeah, it is early. That being said, to echo the Luvu thing, where is he? And the Joe Witt, he changed up the scheme. I mean, this guy was like 2 weeks after we lost last year.
hello.
He went to Phoenix and he started working out. I was like, oh my God, Luvu's like, he's going after it. I could see it that he wants to like let the man loose. He is a freaking havoc, man. When
He's a tiger on a leash right now.
On a leash. Let him go.
Yeah.
Let him go be
He is our
Micah
Micah.
Parsons, right?
Yeah.
Let him go be Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
And then obviously Lattimore, he was just. I am happy with the way Trey's playing, and I think that kid's going to be, like you said, like he's going to be CB number one. And it just we lacked what somebody sent that thing with Tom Brady talking about quarterbacks in the chat. The one word he uses, we lacked anticipation. You lack anticipation. We just didn't have it, and Jaden looked flustered. The D looked flustered. And it was annoying. And I'm not even going to go on Matt Gay because that was very vocal in the chat about Matt Gay. Brad we were all chatting a while ago, and Brad was
before I came on. I missed that.
Exactly.
So I mean, hey, if you got to say it, one thing I want everyone to understand: these are passionate fans that support this team through thick and thin. and can't always stand up when they win and feel good and talk about all how great it is when they lose. And my job as a media person, this is the hardest thing to do, is walk in the locker room after a loss like that. And honestly, I went in there for a couple minutes and walked right out. People are like, "Oh, you don't need to get the interviews in there." Nah, because what am I gonna get that the world's not gonna get? I mean, it's what are they gonna say? And I understand some people want that kind of material because they want to know what they're thinking. Wrong. And it's wrong of you to want me to get that from them at that time, because this is a game of testosterone, and a game of you know feelings, man. And when people lose, would you want somebody in your face asking you, so tell me what happened out there? Well, what the hell do you think happened out there? I mean, yeah, I'm not that one. I'm not going to do that. And I will say this: I asked Jaden, "You good?" He said, "I'm good." And then he was asked that in the presser, and what did he say? "I'm good." So
Real quick.
I don't need to press that anymore. As a former athlete myself, Penn State, we are. What's up? Got to do that all the time. Hold on, Allison, you muted. Now I think you might be muted intentionally because he probably had something slick to say. What were you gonna say there?
I was saying, who y'all playing today? Little Sisters of the Poor?
I mean, it's Villanova. You know what I'm saying?
There we go.
They
Okay,
just
okay.
we're gonna give them a check to take back to Philly to help build some buildings. But
You know what? Sorry, but Gerard, I know you say like they're pros and it don't matter, everybody get tired. But I do think that 3 day in between the game and the travel, because I got to the game early, and while they were on the sideline, they just looked lifeless. They looked, even before the game, because even when Green Bay, I understand they was at home and Green Bay had that whiteout and they had asked everybody to turn their phones on. Green Bay was chest bumping. They just looked
it was
energetic.
different, man.
We
It was
didn't look.
different.
Even Dan Quinn looked just kind of slouched on the
Yes, he did.
sideline. We
Yes, he
just
did.
didn't. I understand you say we pros, and we are, but I do believe they were just exhausted and tired, because they, even the Giants game, how the defense was attacking everybody, we weren't even getting
Right.
that. We weren't
And
getting that.
you know what else? Also, not to cut you off, Brad, because you were there.
I was there.
Listen, I'm telling you. I mean, and this isn't making an excuse. I'm just telling you mentally how things threw me off. I'm getting there, and it was cold. Like, okay, y'all thinking it's Green Bay. You should have known that. No, it said all week I'm checking, and I'm checking what kind of suit I'm gonna wear, everything. And I'm like, man, 75,
Yo,
sunny.
it
I'm
did.
I'm I'm wearing an athletic, thin suit. Went on that field after the game. I'm standing there with Santana and Brian Culberson and B. Mitch and Donna, and we were like, it's cold.
A different 75 up here, ain't
It
it?
was a different 75. It was
The
cold.
Midwest.
And by the
Yeah.
time I walked out the stadium, I could see some cold air coming out. I'm like, it's cold. And Donna's going to tease me because she's like, man, if you say it's cold one more time. I said it and we got to the airport. They had the air conditioning on in there. It was freezing. So I'm just saying, like, leading up to that back here, when I got off the plane back here, man, it was hot. I mean, it was like, I got to take all this off. I'm just saying mentally, it was so many layers to this. And then on top of that, Thursday night, the main thing on top of that, against one of the best defenses they're going to face all year, in an environment, Lambeau Field is everything as advertised.
For sure.
It's not the prettiest
sure.
place. It's just not. It's
For
an
sure.
old, decrepit stadium. Let's call it what it is. But the fan base and the irony of it all, and I know I'm straying here because I'm just putting it all of it's oozing out of me now. You know what I did find striking, and Brad, you were there. I didn't see a lot of Packers fans around the stadium until almost damn near game time. That they were, I guess, because there's residential houses
So
right there,
that's
so
what
people,
that's what
everybody,
surprised me.
But they were.
yeah,
They showed
no
up.
one was at the stadium. I guess
Well,
because they were at the houses, they didn't
They
walk over
were.
yet.
Because the
Houses.
Airbnb I stayed in was literally 6 minutes from the stadium. It's like that stadium, then you got all these houses
Yeah.
around it. And I was impressed, man. And again, their fan base was very welcoming, but they tailgate on the streets in the neighborhoods because in their
That's
garage
awesome.
they had TVs. They had
That's
TVs
awesome.
in their garage. Their garages look like my basement. They got recliners, they got refrigerators, they got
If
and
you have a house nearby the stadium, you're making money because
Big time.
people were
Parking.
and it
parking
was
and
they were
yeah.
doing that. And matter of fact, man, the Airbnb is I was telling my boy, I was like, dude, we should make us a couple $100 because we should just say you can park in here. You know what I'm saying?
I kept looking out and I did not see. And I'm like, okay, I know. See, first of all, I'm venting now. My watch did not reset the Green Bay time.
Yeah.
So I'm looking
Oh,
and I'm like,
man.
I'm already tired. And I'm like, we got to the stadium at 2. Okay. I'm like, man, it's I remember looking and I said, okay, it's 2 hours away. It's 5 o'clock. And Donna said, what you talking about? It's only 4 o'clock. And I said, what do you mean? She said, did your stuff set back? So I looked at my phone and it said 4. And I'm like, oh my God. Like we got 3 more hours. Like, what are we doing here? You know, I'm telling you, mentally, I haven't been this tired in a long time.
Yeah, me
It's the
too.
2
I ain't never
hours. The
And
2 hours gets you.
I
It is.
know those players were dealing with it.
That
There's
that's
no
why I can
doubt.
say that. That's why I can say that
No
to you,
doubt.
Brian,
No doubt.
because I got home at 1:30 this morning from my drive. And yeah, they flew, but that time difference, it does. And I understand what you're saying. They professionals. I get that. But
No,
them
I'm coming.
boys just look exhausted. They just looked,
Right.
they look wiped out.
If this was a Thursday night game in November, okay, my reaction would be totally different. Like,
Yeah.
what was going on here? But I kind of understand it. Just seeing the guys in the locker room afterwards, it was
How much energy did they put
people
out?
needed some sleep, man. Like I know I
feel that.
was.
Me
Like I
too.
said,
Yeah.
I was so thrown off by this. You would have thought we were coming back from Madrid. And
Man.
so I can tell you this because I know some of y'all thinking, well, if they thinking this way, they got to go to LA in 3 weeks. I think the preparation will be better for it. You know why? Because last year in Phoenix,
They go out there early.
we went out early.
Yeah.
We're going out to LA early, you know, so you can get acclimated to it.
Yeah.
There was none of that. I mean,
Thank you. Now, look, can I speak real quick?
go Go ahead.
And that's what I'm trying to say. We just in week 2. I understand it's not November or December. We just started the season. So we coming in here fresh. We knew months ago that we had to go to Green Bay on a short week. So
That
we
is
already
fair.
knew this. So what I'm trying to say
The
as
game
a
plan
team,
should have been prepared for
the
that
game
better.
plan
True
should have
that
been
too.
better.
True that
And
too.
also making sure that our players stay rested after that Giants game, do something, practice. Because what you guys are sitting here telling me, and I respect you because you was there personally. We never should have even made that trip. We shouldn't even showed up
I mean,
because
it
we
appeared like
tired.
that. Yeah.
This game is done because we had to travel, the jet lag, everything. Okay, what we're doing, that the case, we shouldn't even play some of these guys. We shouldn't
But I
even
think
have efforts, but
it all kind of like culminates because you remember Mike Tyson said everybody can fight until he get punched in the face. We were prepared, but then when Green Bay came out and
Knocked
hit
out.
us, it was just like it threw us off. They came
I
out
agree
and
with
just
that.
It was like everything
and
was
it
in
was just like
fast forward
it was
almost.
just
If you were
like
Green
bang.
Bay,
Yeah.
like
It was,
I'm like they looking at Green Bay like, damn, are these guys this fast? Like
it was
it took them
Right.
3 quarters to adjust,
yeah.
and they still were in the game. And say now, okay, this is now where I'm going on the attack as far as the coaching. When they cut the lead to 17-10, I literally said to myself, this team going to mess around and steal a game they have no business being part of.
I did too.
I thought the same
And
thing.
We all did that.
then Green Bay literally started running the ball, doing some things differently.
And timeout.
And yeah, and I literally was just like, it's just not gonna happen tonight. We just want to get out of here with no injuries.
Yeah. And
Or
I felt different. I felt like it was never a game. I felt like we were never in that game. Just because of the body language, I just felt like our offense, and when Zach scored, I felt like it's just too late because I felt it was too late because our defense, the secondary looked like the Ron Rivera days to me. They were
Yeah.
off. They were just guys
They were
running wide
just
open.
like
They
just watching the game go on, and
were. It was
that
just
they were part
crazy.
of.
I see how many guys just open. It was just like, what is this? Even when the few times that Green Bay had a 3rd and long, it was just like how open some of these guys were. It was like, man, what are we doing?
Crap.
It was
Crap.
just.
Well, see, I thought we were going to see something different when D got hurt. You know, when he went down, I saw guys literally. I mean, I'm not sure if you saw it on television, but Bobby was telling them like, "We got you,"
Yeah, I
and
saw that.
Yeah.
and they, you know, just on the sidelines, there were guys that were really trying to get them, like Vaughn. Vaughn was really upset about that, you know. So it was almost like they were trying to get themselves ready, get themselves going, and then they cut the lead. So I'm thinking, they get the ball back here. Now you're gonna finally see Jaden. You're finally gonna see them make some plays, and it just never happened. It never matriculated. So the point of all this is, they lost. They lost to the better team, you know, and they lost to the better team on Thursday. So I have no problem saying right now Green Bay's ahead of them. You know, just as far as preparation, as far as the everything. But I don't feel like I don't feel like they're incapable of beating Green Bay. I know they can beat the Packers.
Yeah.
And we're going to see a lot about the Packers, as you said, against Philadelphia next week. It's going to be real, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. So now, moving forward, one of the things that I wanted to get from you guys was a hypothetical, so we can have some fun and it's not so intense. And because everyone's upset about this. So I'm gonna let you reach back in a bag. Okay, we'll see how much of you guys are historians here. I'm gonna let you reach back in a bag and take this morbid, depressing outing from this team and replace it with another morbid, depressing outing that you can remember, that you can recall. So we're going to replace one bad outing with another bad outing, a historical one, you know. So and I'm going to lead off. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to replace it with the worst outing I had ever seen was in the Super Bowl against the Raiders.
Oh,
That to me was the last
I
time
remember that.
cried. I cried as a kid, as a fan. And that was that's when my mindset changed, because my father came in the room that night and was like, I know you're not crying over this. These guys millionaires, they probably going out right now. You know, why are you caring if they weren't? So that was the last one for me where I took it personal. I mean, that one hurt. That was bad. You know, Jack Squire, I remember the interception before the half and put him up 21. And I was like, oh my God, this is bad. So anyway, I'm gonna let you guys have some fun with it and throw one out that you don't want to really remember, but for the sake of getting the taste out of your mouth on Thursday, we're gonna bring up another one that scarred you. So let's start with Miss Sheila. Do you have one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go further than you because I was younger. Wasn't quite understanding everything about football when we lost to Miami in the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow. 14-7. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That
I
one hurt.
remember a lot of it, and then I don't. I know that George Allen always said defense wins games. That was his motto. Defense wins game. And I just remember losing that. That was my first Super Bowl for the Redskins that I saw, and I was sad because I was like, "Are we gonna ever be able to get back?" You know.
And it was like almost 30 years later, 20 years later before that happened. So
I quarterback with them was, I think, Bill Kilmer. Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, we're not gonna be able to go back with him. So
people don't remember in that game, and yes, just so you guys know, I was 1 year old when that happened. So with that, no, it's all good. You look great. Don't worry. So my thing is, though, just, you know, I haven't doing this with the team. I have to be a historian and know these things. But if I'm not mistaken, Sonny Jurgensen was hurt, and
that's what I heard.
And the irony is, Miami, that was their undefeated season.
Yep.
Washington was favored to win that Super Bowl.
They
went in odds favored. So that goes to show you that Dolphins team, that people still didn't think they were that great. But anyway, that's another story. All right, so good stuff, Miss Sheila. All right. So let's go with Shauna. What you got? What you got?
I'm gonna go with the body bag game against Philly.
Ooh. That one was tough for me because I was in college at Penn State then, and all the Philly kids was like, "Oh my God!" And you know what I said at the time? How many Super Bowls y'all have? Can't say that now. Things have changed drastically. But yeah, I remember that game vividly. That was rough, man. Yeah, 3 quarterbacks. Brian Mitchell ended up coming in. Remember?
Yep.
That's
It
right.
was taking snaps. So yeah, that was a good one. Good stuff, Shano. All right, so let's go with Josh. What you got? Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute, Josh. There we
So when I
go.
was living in Cancun, I had to go to the Outback to watch the games because it was the only place to watch the games in the hotel zone. And the staff was all, for whatever reason, they were all Patriots fans down there. It's 2007 and 52-7.
Woo, wait. Remember that one too. That was rough, man.
And I've never walked out on the game, but I almost did on that one. I just couldn't handle it. They were
Drinks
giving me
would have been flowing in Cancun that day.
Yeah,
Wow.
That was an
52
ugly
to
one.
7. And they called the dogs off of them too, ironically. They probably could have hung 70 on them that day. All right. So Gerard, what you got? What you got?
One game that I have that that just took me away. I don't know if you guys can remember. It's not too long ago, but it was the Michael Vick game. When they just
Philly
kept
first
It was a
play.
Monday night game.
Yeah,
Monday night game. Oh,
they
that
were
game
just
was awful.
scoring. I mean, we couldn't do nothing.
First play of the game.
First play of the
Yes,
game.
it did.
Yep.
It just. It was,
I got
wow.
a story.
I would
Y'all,
never
and
ever
I'm gonna
forget
keep
that.
it 15 seconds. 15 seconds for you.
I'm good.
Philip Daniels, who's a good friend of mine, he told me literally all week long, Greg Williams was telling LaRon Landry, do not peek in the backfield because on the first play, they're going to go deep. And he said they said it over and over and over every day in practice leading up to that game. So you guys remember pregame of that, Landry and Deshaun got into it. I'm not going to tell you what LaRon told Deshaun because Deshaun's my dude. And he confirmed. And it was definitely something that would make me come after somebody.
He said it. Yeah, he said he told him that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I had the full scoop that day, and I'm sitting there, I'm waiting for it. First play, boom. And it was like they practiced this to not give that up. I don't think LaRon or anyone in that stadium thought Michael Vick was going to throw the football that far. It was damn near 70 yards. It hit Deshaun in stride from inside the end zone. We threw that thing. It just goes to show you, just those were the days where your heart was broken in the first 2 minutes of a game. And you knew what you were going to witness. Yeah, and you knew what you were going to witness the rest of the game. And it was on prime time. That's the other part, I think, that hurts all of us as far as Thursday, because
I hadn't brought that one up.
you have a stinker on prime time.
You felt the life go out of the stadium. I was at home, and you felt it just like air
it was just
coming out
like
of a balloon.
They just reached in and grabbed your heart right off the top. Now we own you for about the next 59 minutes. Right. So, all right. So good stuff there, Gerard. That and yeah. That was rough. Okay. So Ellison, what you got?
A lot of y'all already mentioned games. But this one to me just sticks out. I don't know why, but it was the last year of Mike Shanahan, and we played Kansas City at home.
In the snow.
The snow was there. And I just remember,
I remember that
the
game.
stadium was just almost empty. Almost completely empty. And
The
for
press
whatever
box
reason,
was
that
empty
game
too.
Out of my mind. It was bad. That whole year was bad. It was awful, man.
That was the end of
RG3, right?
It was the end of RG3, the quick era, and the end of Mike Shanahan at the same time. Yeah, so you knew this is when you were hoping that Dan would do something.
Right.
Metal, please get involved. Get this out of here, because that was bad. That in the snow. Yeah. They were throwing snowballs out there. I'll never forget that. That was bad. They were intentionally trying to hit people. So all right, so let's go. Shauno, what you got?
It wasn't my turn. I already went. I said body bag game.
Oh, that's right. Brandon.
I mean, like you, the Super Bowl loss, I cried, but more recently, I just gotten back from Nepal doing a movie, and my girlfriend got me tickets to that Monday night Chicago Bears game that Justin Fields had the game of his life.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
I wanted to
Yes.
leave. I was like, "Why'd you waste the money?" This was like, oh my god, it was awful to sit there and watch that. And that was the last Rivera era, But like, just to sit there was just painful.
And
So
remember,
painful.
Chicago hadn't scored an
Hadn't
offensive
scored
touchdown
at all.
in like
Just-
7 games.
And just went
Justin
nuts
Fields had
against
the
us.
game
I
of his
remember
life.
that.
And
DJ
everybody
Moore.
used to have
Oh.
the games of their life against
Oh.
Washington. It was
Right.
almost
So
like I knew guys used to be in the locker room, probably like literally, DraftKings and FanDuel for a long time weren't up. But I know for a fact, if it was, some guys would be in trouble.
Yeah, that was tough. That was really tough.
Sure.
'Cause
I'm going over what I'm supposed to get.
It was so
Yeah,
bad.
that was an ugly one.
I shouldn't have said that because that's going to get people in trouble. But the point is,
It wasn't me this time.
It wasn't you, Brad.
It's all good.
How can you not bet on yourself when you know you were going up against some pure trash? And that's
Right.
what it was for a long time here.
Yep.
Let's call it like it is. Guys are like, I'm going to get little resistance here. Yeah, I'm going over my parlay. So
Wow.
I shouldn't be saying that stuff because I can't bet. You guys know that? That's a little side
You
story.
can't?
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
knew
know
that.
that.
You with the league, you can't
Can't bet.
no. That's a big no on
Gotcha.
anything.
Yep.
Anything. I can't even bet on neighbors' dogs racing up the street. Can't. So anyway, all right. So let's keep it going here. Abdul, what's up, man? What's your worst memory?
All right, so I have an oldie but baddie. All right, so 2001, October 16th, 2 0-4 teams, Cowboys versus us, right?
Mhm.
Redskins at the time. We have the ball. Before the 2-minute warning, Steven Davis fumbles the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And we lose 9-7
Ugh.
once they get the ball.
To go 0-5.
To go 0-5.
That sucks.
I mean, I did this intentionally. And the only reason I did this, because some of y'all faces now have really dropped down on the screens. I did this intentionally so that you can get the
mind
taste
off,
out of
yeah.
Thursday night.
Mhm.
And to really let you know,
Yeah.
is it really this bad?
Yeah.
I think these bring back good memories. You gonna walk away and say, "Damn, Thursday was all right. I'm good now. Let's bring on the Raiders." All right, so let's go here. Brad.
I think you got everybody.
I got everybody on this one this time, so we good. We good.
We roll right through that.
You
All
ain't
right,
get
so-
me.
I have a
You
question
skipped
for
me,
you.
brother.
No,
No. I was
Brad.
just about to say. I just looked and said, "No, Brad wasn't in Oscar. Oscar wasn't checked either."
He
So-
dropped
Yeah,
off.
he
Had the
took
ball.
off. He had to
Okay.
go.
All right. So Brad, what you got?
A lot of the games that a lot of people took. I was gonna say one. I forget the date, but it was a Kirk Cousins game when we were playing the Giants, and we could have won. We could have went in the playoffs, and
I
he threw
remember
an
that.
interception off the back foot.
Off the back.
Red zone.
Typical Kirk Cousins let me down. Who he was.
You like that?
Well,
Yeah.
he did it when he was
No,
here
I
at Michigan
didn't.
State. It was typical Kirk Cousins, but honestly, any Ron Rivera coach game to me, I just cannot stand that guy, man. I'm sorry. Anything he did, from his draft picks to his post-game interviews, so any game he coached.
Hey, Brad.
Brad carrying
You sure?
Thursday really with them right now.
Hey, Brad, the same way you feel about Rivera, the same way I feel about Steve Spurrier. Don't bring nothing about Steve
Oh,
Spurrier.
yeah.
No.
No, that's how I feel about Jim Zorn.
Man,
Jim Zorn, those press
wow.
conferences used to destroy
man's
me.
screwed.
See, don't y'all feel better about Thursday now? when you got to think that's just one game. This was
Jim Zorn.
this was
5 years.
eras exactly, and they were
Yeah.
one after another. So you see why,
Yeah,
I
I got
got
you.
you.
Yeah,
I
okay.
I
got you.
picked up
I
on
got
that
you.
early.
Need
I
y'all to
got
feel a little better about Thursday,
Yeah,
because I'm
even
telling
we
you.
we talking about cornerbacks, Marshawn. We could have had the cornerback in New Orleans. What's the kid name up there? Is Gonzalez?
Oh no, you mean New
New
England?
England.
New
Yeah,
England,
Christian
rather.
Gonzalez.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
we
They
took Forbes. I hate Ron Rivera. I
they
hate
could have
him.
He's
had
horrible.
look sitting there on the board. Literally, was Christian Gonzalez, was Deontay Banks, was Brian Burns. I mean, all of these players were sitting there, and I'm like, they're finally going to get an impact player, because they have multiple needs on defense then. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, doesn't matter who they take, they're going to get somebody.
Mm.
And I kid you not, Candy
Mm-mm.
Waller right here, Donna Hopkins right here, in the media room at that night there. Normally I go to the draft, but we were there that night. And when they said Emmanuel Forbes,
Yeah.
y'all remember Sanford and Son?
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
My favorite, that's
Remember
my
it was
favorite
a,
show.
show
I
once
love it.
where
That's my favorite show.
somebody, I forgot where they were, but it was Fred, Bubba, and Grady.
Yeah.
And somebody said something, and they both looked at each other like, literally.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
They'll tell you the same story. We were like, who is Emmanuel Forbes? So we were looking them up, and I'm like, okay, he's had some interceptions in the SEC,
Yeah, but
and I'll never forget when we met him. I think the next day or whatever, they flew him in on a helicopter, whatever, and we met him. I don't judge. I don't judge. Please don't put me in that category. But when I saw what I saw with my own eyes, I'm like, this is who you drafted, and you didn't draft a 6'3" corner that was like 200 pounds.
Right.
And
I was
this
Emmanuel
is who
Forbes
you
weight in the sixth
drafted?
he
grade.
looked like
Yeah,
an Iowa
man.
boy.
And I'm like, I don't understand, man. I that's when I knew.
He was
Yeah,
done.
it was, and it's nothing against him.
Right.
Great kid. When I
Right.
tell you he was a super nice kid, I was pulling for this kid because he was so nice and
That's what they always say.
accommodating.
He was
And
a
you know
nice
what?
guy.
And
Yeah.
not to pile on Ron Rivera, but I'm going to, because I do it when we ain't on this show.
Do it.
But
This getting that Thursday out of you, so this is good.
Come on,
Okay,
man.
this is
Draft
therapy
him.
today. Saturday morning therapy.
You draft Forbes, which was in over his head, and then you line him up against AJ Brown.
Yeah.
Not only
Crazy.
is the game was over his head, but then you put him against an all-pro and you just killed all his confidence that he had.
And people don't realize there was some Mississippi blood there too.
Yes,
Ole Miss versus Mississippi State.
This guy, he was terrible. Then he drafted Jamin Davis, who played linebacker
Do
one
y'all know
season.
Jamin's not in the league right now?
Yes.
Is Emmanuel still a
Yeah, man.
with the
was
Rams.
Rams.
He
He's in
drafted
LA.
Jamin Davis, who played one season at linebacker, and then he gonna put him at middle linebacker, a position he's never played. And then when he get killed, you and your boy Del Rio kill him on the public. It's like, what? That guy was, Thursday.
He was trash, Brad. He was trash,
I
Brad.
can't stand that guy.
He was trash, Brad.
Brad gonna have a drink when he gets off.
Hey, But look, we do gotta appreciate Ron. He did put us in position to get JD5.
That's the one.
I mean, but you know what though? I hear that all the time, Gerard. I don't buy it. You know why I don't buy it? Because if Josh Harris and Adam and Dan weren't here, they would have traded up to get Caleb. I know they would have done that if Dan Snyder was still in the building. They would have done something. They probably would have traded. Look, they probably would have traded two first and Terry to move up to get Caleb. They would have done something stupid.
Right.
We would interception on that one. Okay.
And Jerry Jones would look like a superstar if we had the old owner that we got.
You know what I love about this? It's not my words. Just so nobody can come back and say Lake Lewis said. I'm just listening to y'all, and I'm not gonna lie, y'all we thinking the same way, but I had to go and sit in them things like this. I'll be in a press conference just like this, like
what are we?
I'm not buying that. I don't believe you.
I heard a story. It was maybe about a year or so ago, that the year that we drafted, oh man, I forgot, it was a receiver. That was the year.
Jahan
That's
Dotson.
No,
Dotson.
this is a little back. We
So-
were supposed.
Was it when they drafted
Westbrook.
both?
Was it Westbrook?
No, was it
Michael
when they
Westbrook?
drafted Thomas and Malcolm
Thomas
Kelly?
and Malcolm Kelly.
Okay, Tom.
That he wanted to draft. That
Who?
the coaching staff and the scouting staff wanted to draft. Who's the running back that was in Kansas City? Oh my gosh.
Lamar Charles.
Jamal Charles.
Jamal Charles.
And Dan Snyder came in the draft room and said, "No, we're not taking. We're taking the receiver."
And to make matters worse, not only because they needed receiver, they did.
Right.
They needed a big receiver to complete their big three, so to speak. Man, like their big three was supposed to be, my God, when you think about this, to rival Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith. They go out and they bring their offensive coordinator here, North Turner, and they were supposed to have their big three be Heath Schuler and Michael Westbrook. And at the time, the running back was I kind of want to say Reggie Brooks, if I'm not mistaken. But the whole point is to even mention them with those Hall of Famers.
Seriously.
Are you kidding me? I mean,
I grew up.
Yeah.
I grew up where Heath Schuler is. I know Heath very well, and he was full of himself back then.
I can
mean,
tell y'all right
I was a
now,
kid. Yeah, he
I
was-
saw the blueprint on Heath Schuler against y'all. Somebody say it for me. Go on. Somebody can say it for me. He played us in the Outback Bowl, or I was thinking maybe at that time it might have been the Citrus Bowl, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, he played against us and he had 5 interceptions.
Never good.
And that was the you saw it. It was like we ran a pro defense. And this is what he looked like against a pro defense with the number 2 pick in the NFL draft. Washington Redskins take Heath Schuler.
Good
And I
pick
was
there, my
like,
brother.
wow.
And think how many number 2 picks that we struck out on. And we finally got one in JD5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
why I keep telling people, man, you know, the whole
what I
he's sophomore slump. It's gonna stop it because it's competency in the building. Now, did we see it on Thursday? Probably not. Okay. And I don't mean Jaden. I'm talking just the put together. Everything was off. And this is what I told John yesterday when he called from TV station. Hot. I'm like, man, you're gonna be solving your own crimes if you keep this up. That's how mad he was. But I will say this. It matters to these guys.
Yeah.
It matters that they got embarrassed on Thursday.
Yeah.
Believe me when I tell you, it
hurts the
matters.
ego. It hurts the ego.
Yeah.
You
They
know what?
care.
To
They
go
care.
back to Ron Rivera, I'm sorry. I'm
No,
just
no.
like that.
We're not gonna
Right.
do that.
When we would have losses like that, he would come on and be like, "Everything is
All
great.
good.
We're almost
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
Here you
we're
go. Here you go. Sideline.
And I would be like,
Yeah,
"This
that's
guy,
it. Like,
how are you
Yeah.
saying we almost there and we got kicked in the stomach like that?" And he would just, "Yeah, we're that close." I'm like,
was
"This
like
guy,
that in
I
Carolina.
hated that guy, man. I'm sorry, y'all."
Yeah.
You know what made
I
it
feel the
worse?
same way,
What-
Brad.
what-
Ron Rivera.
Yeah, you know what made it worse though was that the culture was so bad. Guys accepted the listen, man, I'm not saying any names, but there was some times I'd be in the locker room after the game. I swear to you, and I'm not even supposed to swear, but I tell you, I heard guys saying where they were going out. You know, when we meet, what time you gonna be there? Blah blah
Yeah.
blah, and they were just literally everything done to them except for just had the police on the field and arrest the person that did it to them by 30 by 40, and they were in the locker room afterwards laughing, smiling. Where are we going out, man? Oh, I'm gonna meet you up at the top of the ramp. I heard it. I've heard it all.
Yeah.
That's not the last year and a half, 2 years. Trust me when I tell you. Them guys are quiet. It's as quiet as a mouse in there when you go in there. No music. Them losses hurt. I've seen guys
Good.
red-eyed, like they were crying. Like it matters. So I will say that to you guys. I'll say it to the rest of Burgundy and Gold, Commander Nation out there. This isn't the norm. And last year when they had the 2-game losing streak, against Pittsburgh, and then obviously Dallas followed up. And I remember, you know, my baby and me, we were in, oh, my bad. Well, Janine and me, you know, I gotta keep it professional. we were we were in St. Thomas because after that, remember we had, you know, after the Philly game, we had you know, a couple days. So I was like, I need to recharge, man. So we went there. We were in St. Thomas and she did, that was the first time she'd ever done the podcast with me. And she's asking me, man, it's getting ready to go back to the old days, isn't it? And I'm like, no, this is different. It matters to these guys that they lost. And I've heard guys tell me to this very day, they should have beat both those teams. They should have beat Pittsburgh. They had them. They should have beat Dallas. They, you know, obviously we want to bring up, you know, field goal issues because it's scarring us now, what we're watching. But you win those 2 games, that's 14 wins last year. Okay. I'm telling you guys right now, I'm putting my professional livelihood on this to tell you guys this. They're a better football team than they were last year.
100%.
The record may not be that at the end of the year, but I think it will. I think this loss is probably the best thing that could have happened to this team. Because imagine you beat Green Bay, you're 2-0, you're on sky high, and you didn't play your best football. So yeah, you could be thinking, we don't have to show up all the time and we're going to win. Yeah. I think Thursday proved to them, no, you got to show up in the NFL or you're going to get stomped and, you know, physically manhandled. They weren't in this football game mentally, and that has to change. So man, you know, yes.
Moving forward, what is that running back room going to look like?
I'm going to throw a wrinkle in this one, and no one's told me this, but I like to think this is about to happen. Okay. You guys know they went out and got Donovan Edwards. Donovan Edwards is a good football player. I mean, he's a really good football player. So I think they're going to carry 4 backs on the roster going forward. And I think Chris obviously is one of them. Okay. But the wrinkle is, and you know, I hate saying this, I think Jeremy might be the odd person out because of Austin being hurt. You would think Jeremy elevates, but I know Demetric Felton is, you guys know how I felt about him. Yeah. I think they move him up and he's the guy that replaces Austin. Because he's a younger pass catching type of back. And he's a 4-3 guy. So you're going to add more speed now to the backfield, even in the pass catching game. And let's face it, they've got to find a way to spread this thing out for Jaden. You can't, you know, you have to. You can't depend on Debo going in motion and doing these gadget plays. You got to play football now. You got to throw the ball down the field, something they did not do. They attempted 1 or 2 times against the Packers Thursday night. But I'm like, you have this blitzing team, this team that's coming at you, lining their corners up on the line. You knew they were coming, and you're throwing bubble screens. You're doing draw plays. I'm like, listen, if you don't throw the ball down the field to Terry 4 or 5 times, even if he doesn't get it, you're making Green Bay aware that you're going to go deep on them. So again, I know that's my vent session because I thought that was the worst game plan Cliff ever put together for this roster.
Oh yeah, I think.
Okay, all right. I appreciate you. Okay,
I just wanted to say one thing before I left. I'm sorry, Brad. I'm very pleased. I think we still gonna be good going forward. I still don't see us having no more than 2 losses by the time we got to go against the Eagles at the end of the season. So my prediction is still on course. You know, 2 or 3 at the most. That's where I'm at. We're gonna be all right. We just played against a quick, fast team, and we were just unprepared coach wise. Other than that, we're gonna be okay. You know, appreciate you guys. I'm look forward to whatever day or time you do it next week. You guys,
Saturday.
It's gonna be Saturday. Okay.
Yeah, Saturday for sure.
Enjoy y'all Saturday. I got to get ready to go to a little league football.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Gerard. Brother.
All right, have a good one.
Okay, take care.
I think when Cosme come back, that's going to help tremendously.
Yep.
I really think so because I think the right side of our offensive line is kind of suffering right now. But to your point of him like throwing the deep one to Terry, he didn't have time.
No, he didn't.
Even
he just
when
threw
he
it
was
up
in the
there.
shotgun,
Right.
even when he was in the shotgun, by the time he took the snap and took 3 steps back, they was in his face.
Yeah.
He didn't have time to do nothing. that D line is fast, but they not big though. Like I say, I think if we line up on the center, hand it off to the running back, and just pound them, we could get some yards. Because
They were not expecting them to rush like that, and that is for sure.
Well, see, that's the thing too. Like you guys know this. Like
It's going around the center.
pass pro, you know, when you are already mentally tired, okay, and you're going into pass protection 42 times, with a mobile quarterback besides you, that's a whole nother element those offensive linemen have to think about. How long do I hold my block? Because I can't go down the field because it's going to be legal man downfield. You know, if I'm trying to block for Jaden, you know, for the run. It's just so many layers to this. And I just felt like they looked so disjointed. It was unreal. It was unreal. So before we wrap up, on a bright spot, find me a bright spot for that from this game that you could take away from this game and say, you know what, I'm okay with that part. Was there any in your mind?
Yeah.
Because go ahead, Josh. Go ahead and jump in if you got
Other than
one.
Matt Gay, special teams look good. They were down on the field. They were knocking them down on those kick returns. They look good. We even said that.
And the kick coverage is you know, Jalen Lane looked really good as punt returner, as we knew.
Yep.
So okay.
Good. And Amos, I thought Amos played a good game.
Okay.
Even after that hit game, right?
Okay. Not bad. Anybody else? Something that jumps out positive.
I mean, I'm happy with Debo. I think Debo looks great. I think Debo looks great, and I just want to see more of him. You know, I think it was a great acquisition. I'm so glad we have him, and he looks the most like charged to go. You know,
ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Some of y'all looking like, nah, man.
We went to Green Bay in September rather than December.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
Even though it was cold still, I'm definitely glad it wasn't November. That dude,
Blake would have had the parka on at that point.
Yeah,
I sure would. I'd have been looking like Frank. What's the name that Denzel played? I'd have had the chinchilla, all that.
Like, I hate to tell you, Lake, but that's not cold up here. That's not cold.
Like I'm from Michigan. That ain't.
Hey, well, listen, I'm not, so y'all can have it. For me, it was cold.
You for me, the actual beating that we took was the good outcome for me, because I think we got some veteran leadership in there, and that the game was on a Thursday, so they could rest up, and Bobby can sit in front of them and say, look, y'all, this ain't the end of the world, but we need to work on ABC, and we're gonna get better. And then I think Cliff is the type, not Cliff, DQ is the type to rally guys together. But I think that you know how we get a whooping from your parent, like, y'all never do that again. They took a BTA, they took a belt to
ass.
Yeah, belt to ass.
They did. And so I think that's gonna be the
switch off the tree.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you get beat to the point where you say, I'm not doing that no more.
I ain't doing
You're
that.
right. You're right. That's I like. Hey man, y'all giving me some liners today on here. Got the St. Juice liner. I mean, my goodness
That was a
gracious.
switch on the tree.
I ain't pushing nobody down the steps.
Brad, I only got one good Ron Rivera game for you. Remember when Philly was undefeated and Heineke went up in there? That was probably the only good game that they came out. Other than that,
he must have had the flu.
And I think they had. I think you know, I'm gonna give them credit on one game. You know, under Ron. I think the loss to Tampa in the playoffs in the empty stadium.
Yeah.
I was sitting there, and I'll never forget having to do the post game with Scott Abraham on ABC after the game, and it was just like,
it wasn't COVID, right?
it was. It was COVID. I was like, what are we doing? And then they would put like whoever I guess was a season ticket holder, a lot of the teams, but like put a picture of them throughout, and I'm like, there's nobody here. Like, this was unreal. That was an error. We'll hopefully we have to duplicate.
Twilight Zone, right?
I'm gonna say, as far as myself, as far as a positive that came out of this game, I think I saw with my own eyes now what I've been seeing, and it verified to me. Bill, to me, is more physical than people been letting on. And I keep telling, from what I see in practice, this guy is bigger than you realize. And he's physical, but he just happens to be fast. If that, to me, isn't Clinton Portis Jr., I don't know what is. The
Oh,
way
I
he
love it.
runs, the way
My
he
brother
Love it.
moves, he reminds me of Clinton. He really
That's
does.
nice.
Maybe the earlier version, kind of like the Denver to Washington,
Denver version.
you know,
Put that weight
Clinton.
on. Yeah.
But yeah, and I think they have one. I think they really have something special there. And unfortunately for Austin, because you never want to see someone go down like that. As soon as he went down, I knew it's the Achilles, and I knew because guess what? I ruptured my Achilles playing, so I knew no one was near me. The way you go down, you grab the back of that leg, you knew it. So shout out to Austin. Get better, my friend, definitely. But I think now there's not going to be any room to play around here, with Bill. Feature this guy, sub him out when he's tired. But other than that, no more hiding your rookies. You're not hiding Josh Connolly out there for
They
sure.
really not.
I mean, you got him out there going up against a man-child and Micah Parsons, and the week before he's going up against that giant front. And guess what? He's going up against Mad Max this week. I mean, it's not going to get any easier.
Baptized by fire.
Right. So if you're going to do that with him, do it with all.
Pull the Ferrari out of the garage.
Absolutely. I mean, it looks good sitting in there, but I need to see what it drives like, and the only way I'm going to learn the car is to get in there and get some experience. So all the people coming at Josh too, saying how bad he looks, stop, man. That's not true. Like, you have to really take into account his first 2 NFL games, what he's gone up against. No other rookie draft tackle has gone through this type of gauntlet. We're talking about Micah Parsons,
Brian Burns,
and then Max, for Vegas in a 3-week period.
And like Shano said, this is not his natural position.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
like this is as rough a stretch for any player. I don't care if you were an all pro right tackle. That's something that, like, you probably gonna have moments against these 3 guys you're going up against. So for him, he's only gonna be all the better for it. So
Yeah, and Micah gave Penei Sewell the week
work.
before fits.
He
gave him fits.
he
and
really
Penei Sewell's are all pro. So
that's what I'm saying, man. Like, this is the knee-jerk reaction that sometimes happens, not with you guys, but with sometimes some fans just get to the point where I had a guy in my comment, it's on YouTube, and my better half was like, don't take that down. Let people see what emotions are. But he's like, I'm embarrassed by this team. It's a trash team. I'm ashamed to be a fan. Are you?
That's crazy.
But are you a fan?
It's crazy.
Yeah. Are
It's
you a
crazy.
fan if you're saying that stuff? Like, seriously,
I've
man.
seen worse. Trust me, we've seen worse.
really,
Yeah.
really, like
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. And I'm just like, they were supposed to go undefeated, I guess, if that's the case, if that's the way people are thinking. So you got to be realistic about all this. It was a bad loss. It was a tough loss. I was really looking forward to coming on with you guys, because I knew, and Sheila, of course, but I knew that it was going to be more level-headed approach. We started this with Abdul, and he hit on everything as far as what people are thinking, but I think, do you guys feel like this team's not a playoff team anymore? No. Come on.
No.
No, it's not like that. If they go out and stink it up Sunday against the Raiders next
then
week, now you might, I wouldn't say put your hand on the panic button, but you can take your hand out the pocket.
Yeah, but I also think
at
too,
that
we
point.
got to be realistic. We got a tough schedule. We might get
we do.
whooped a couple more times.
True.
This year.
Well, I
gotta
hope they lose some games and not get whooped, because because Thursday was like you said, that was as Brad said. I like that one, man. Like, you're not gonna do this anymore. That was the beating that they got.
Mhm.
Hopefully they don't do that anymore. And they make these things. That Raiders game, by the way, isn't going to be easy.
Nope.
No.
Oh, hell no.
Because
No.
they're going to come into this thing feeling good about
Got the
themselves. Pete
point.
Carroll's
Yeah.
got something going. Geno Smith plays well
Yeah.
against Washington.
Right.
Yeah. Brock
so-
Bowers.
Brock Bowers is,
beast,
we
man.
just saw Green Bay's tight ends go to
that's
absolute
proud.
That's
work.
what scares me.
I don't want to talk about Kraft.
So this is what I need to see. I need to see somehow, some way. Listen, Kane Madrano's been inactive first 2
Yeah,
games.
I wonder what happened to him.
I mean, it's just again, sometimes they overthink some things. Like,
Yeah.
Mariota with he's healthy, but there's still some uncertainty. So, you do certain things. That's what I'm saying. Like, they are overthinking at times, I think. So you guys know I'm sitting there and you saw my tweet. Tress was out kicking.
Yeah.
Larry Izzo, all the special teams coaches out there, and then Coach Quinn came out and they were watching him, and he's kicking and laughing and running, and I'm like, this looked like somebody that's about to play tonight, But they had just activated off the practice squad the punter,
Yep.
the backup punter that they signed, and I'm like, this is crazy because, by the way, never saw the punter out there on the field.
Yeah.
I'm talking like
That is
in
a little bit
pregame, but I saw Tress out there knocking the cover off the ball, and I'm like, there's no way Tress is out here doing this. And now Coach Quinn comes over. Do you know what the last thing was? And I tweeted it out there, and I said to Candy, I was like, is that giving out game information? Because they don't want you to mess with a competitive edge.
Right.
But I'm like, we sitting here in the stadium in Green Bay. Clearly they see what I'm seeing with Tress. Final thing that happened was Tress and Dan fist pumped, and I said, yeah, he's playing. And he sure was. He sure played. But they had activated the other kicker. So those are the little things right there that, to answer your question, I think Sheila brought that up. Sometimes when you overthink things at times, or you're overcautious about things, it messes with the roster spot that should have probably happened. Like for me, I'll give you a perfect example. Chris Rodriguez, no excuse, in my opinion, for him to be inactive.
Yeah, he should
No,
have been
not
up.
at all.
Should have been up. He should have been up last week.
Yeah, he should be
Yeah.
up. He should be up
Yeah.
because in a game like that against Green Bay, you would have had fire and ice, so to speak. You would have had
Yep.
Bill, you would have had Chris pounding that defense and keeping them from pinning their ears back. So if I know this as a media person and you guys know this as fans, why didn't that resonate in the locker room with the coaches? And that's what we all say. And I think it's fair that you can say that because this team, the blueprint of this team. Well, we haven't seen the blueprint. Like when you're not running the football, you just did that against the Giants, who, by the way, have a great pass rush, right? You ran the football at them. It totally took them off their game. But you go to Green Bay on the road on a short week and you want to put your quarterback in harm's way 42 times?
But
No.
Rodriguez, along with Bill, were two of the reasons why they got rid of B-Rob.
100%. But why? But why we not seeing why?
Exactly.
Yeah, we got like a Sonic and Knuckles little tandem there.
They really
they
do.
could be.
They
I was
really
just
do.
watching.
So I agree with Gerard or Joe, what his name?
Gerard.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We were like our coach because you trying to run that zone read against that fast defense, that ain't getting it.
Nah, man.
Pound that
They're
ball,
sideline
man.
to sidelines. You
Pound
gotta go
exactly.
forward.
We
Yeah,
said
you
Pound
gotta
that
go
ball.
forward.
Put your offensive line's weight on that D line.
What you think Philly's gonna do? Don't you think Philly's gonna line up and
for
say,
sure.
let's
For
see
sure.
let's see
Hell
what's
yeah.
coming.
Oh,
Let's see.
hell yeah.
Yeah,
and
that's the
Carter's
blueprint.
coming back. Coming back.
Yeah.
He's
So
gonna
with
be in
Chris-
the. He's coming after him.
Well,
And see, that's why I keep saying, like, you don't have to overthink sometimes. Like, it's no reason to be cute when you don't need to be. I'm going to a wedding today. I'm gonna have to look nice because I'm not gonna be outdone by my better half. Believe that. But I did ask,
You will.
what do we have to wear? Because if I don't have to look okay, I'm just gonna throw a shirt on this.
Right.
But obviously, you understand my poor analogy there. It's I don't need to be cute if I can beat you down. That's what I'm gonna do, man.
Yeah.
And they came out being cute, and it just did not look like what we've seen over the last year. That was the first time, even in the Tampa game last year, it was like that's the first game with Jaden, and it was. I'm not making another excuse, but it was hot. So, y'all, I think y'all know with me, I
You're
need
the
to be
weatherman.
kind of, I need to be like in the 70 to 80 range. But when it's Tampa and it's over 100 that game, oh my God. And then you go to Green Bay. I don't care if it was in September. It was cold. Brad, were you cold up there? Oh
No.
no, my bad. He coming
No,
from Detroit.
that's why I went to the game early.
Oh
No,
my God.
no,
So in
no.
regards to Chris Rodriguez, I want to jump in and give him some kudos because he did what the team asked of him as far as shedding some weight,
He did
trying to gain some
everything.
speed. And then the best thing about it is he's on the sideline, but he's not pouting.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
being a team.
Oh no,
you
he's the
know,
ultimate
he's
team player.
engaged. Yeah, I love it.
He
I love
really
it.
Yeah.
He
is.
knows his time's coming. It's coming.
Well, better be
He's-
coming next Sunday
Right.
because now with with Austin being out, it's going to be interesting. But I think they're going to bring up Dimitri. I do, and I think I think go with the young guys, man. No offense to Jeremy, I like Jeremy quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I think we all can say safely Jeremy's a backup player, and he's a guy that gives you depth. Okay, so
Yeah.
but instantly, I'm not going to devalue Jeremy's importance now because now he's the veteran in the room to help these young guys. So
Yeah.
not diminishing his importance in any way, shape, or form, but when you have 4-3 guys running all around, and then you have a sledgehammer and Chris, who by the way runs hard,
Yeah.
he's an effort runner. I just felt like, my God, man, they would have been perfect for that Green Bay game. Can't go back and change time and repeat it. You got to move forward and learn from it. But I just hope they pound the Raiders. I want to see a concerted effort to get back to every move that you made in the offseason was to be more physical, at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. They got manhandled on Thursday. And I like to think a lot of that was, the schedule, the timing of it. I
do.
truly believe that's
Me
what
too.
it was.
Me
I
too.
can safely say that was the case if they go out against the Raiders and do what I think we all expect for them to do. That's going to be a tough football game. So we're not going to talk about that right now because we're going to wrap up. But Saturdays, if you're watching us right now, the show is going to be on Saturdays during the season. It just makes it a lot easier for everyone. And I know hopefully it makes it easier for you if you want to join. So once again, if you want to join, email us at thelakeLewisJrShow@gmail.com. And then also want to let everyone know after the Atlanta game, which is in 2 weeks, on Tuesdays, the show will be back up on Radio 1 live in DC if you live in that area. And then on Tuesday mornings, you can hear me on ESPN radio as well. So it's picking up, fellas, and Sheila, of course. It's picking up. We're getting there. We're getting into week 3. No times for alarm, not just yet. They lost. They lost to the better team. That happens in the NFL. We got some games this weekend. Kansas City could be 0-2, to start the season. And I don't think people are going to be hitting the panic button in Kansas City if that happens, because I think they started off like that last year, if I'm not mistaken.
And the same thing with the Ravens. Same thing.
Absolutely. Same thing with Baltimore, giving away big leads, 15-point leads with 4 minutes left. So this is what happens. It's football. If you slip, you're going to get caught, so you just have to come out and handle your business and play like you're capable of. But the good thing about all this, best thing about today that I can say, and hopefully this makes you feel better, the fact that all of you guys in here have expectations. That's a good sign, because in years past, first of all, we wouldn't be having this show. Years past, I wouldn't waste my time. But if we did do it, I know it would have. What could you have possibly sold yourself to make you feel better? Nothing. So times have changed. So hopefully you guys had your therapy session this morning. It'll help you, have a great weekend and get ready for you prep. We don't have to go back to practice till Wednesday. I didn't say the players, so I don't want anybody saying they're off till Wednesday. Technically, they are off till Wednesday.
I heard that.
So this is the proper time to kind of retool, get your bodies right, get your minds right, get some sleep. When I get back from this wedding tonight, it's over. I'm not doing anything, period, for 4 days. I'll be writing. You'll see the stuff on heavy.com, shameless plug there, but I'm not going anywhere. I don't know if I'm going to leave my house property, period, for 4 days. So
Still got JD.
Thanks, man.
yeah. Anything planned for you guys this weekend? Anything special?
JD, he coming back.
I'm saying tonight.
I got my daughter has a soccer game in about 20 minutes, so I got to dip in a few minutes.
All right. So yeah, no, we done. We can wrap it up. You guys know I appreciate you as always. This is family, man. This is extended family now, and we're gonna keep. And if you know
So I guess
anybody
we want
that wants to join, please have them come on. Okay.
All right, got you.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
Everybody have a great weekend now.
Peace, everybody.
All
Thanks,
right,
guys.
take care, everyone.
See
Take care.
everybody.
All right. All right.